Hello, and welcome to Piano Player Pro, your favourite classical tunes arranged for piano. Today we're going to be playing EINE KLEINE NACHTMUSIK, or A Little Night Music, by Mozart. Mozart wrote thousands of incredible tunes, but of all of them, this tune is probably his most famous, so well worth learning. It was originally composed for solo strings, but you'll see it being played just as often by a full string orchestra. If you haven't already, then follow the link below and head over to the website pianoplayerpro.com, where you can find the sheet music, which is free to download. And while you're there, make sure you check out what other pieces you can learn. I'm regularly adding new pieces and content, so if you find this video helpful, then please hit the subscribe button below. In total, there are 4 piano arrangements of EINE KLEINE NACHTMUSIK for you to choose from, starting with level 1 and then getting progressively more difficult all the way up to level 4. This video is for the level 3 version, but feel free to take a look at the others. So, let's get started. I'm going to begin by playing through the whole piece, and then I'll go back and we'll look at it section by section. Okay, so that's the whole piece. We're now going to break it down into its 5 sections, starting with section A. I'm going to look at the right-hand part first, and then the left-hand part, and we'll try and put the two together. So the first part with the right hand starts like this, starting on G. I'm suggesting you start on your second finger and rock down to the D. You need to be quite careful in this opening line to use the correct fingers so that you don't run out of fingers when you're reaching for the high notes. So starting like this, reaching up to the high D, and then you're going to move your little finger from the high D down to the C to play the same rhythm coming down, remembering the F sharp there. So on the way down, it's the same rhythm, da, 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 but in the opposite direction. So that whole line again goes like this. Move your little finger, keep the rhythm strong, finishing on low D with your thumb. The left-hand part is actually playing the same tune exactly, just 1 octave lower. So I'm suggesting you start on your middle finger, rocking between your middle finger and your little finger, then reaching up to your thumb on the D, and then just like the little finger in your right hand move down from the D to the C, your thumb in the left hand is going to do the same, D to C. There's the F sharp with your middle finger and coming back down. So they're doing exactly the same thing. Putting them together is slightly awkward, so we'll just try that slowly. And this is where making sure you've used the correct fingers is really helpful, because your brain will hopefully just memorise those patterns. And then they both move down together. Just practice that a little bit. So that's how the section at the beginning goes, section A. Moving on to section B. The good news with section B is that bars 5 and 6 repeat exactly in bars 7 and 8. So we'll focus on bars 5 and 6. Start with the right hand, we're on our G, and you've moved the thumb from the D up to the G. And you go over to the F sharp, you reach over, okay? And then this next little bit of fingering is a bit awkward. You're going to go middle finger on the A, little finger on the C, back to your F sharp on the, back to your index finger or second finger on the F sharp. So that's the pattern there. 3, 5, 2, 3, thumb, thumb. So I say it's a little bit confusing, that kind of little chunk. Let's do that again. So it's thumb, thumb, coming down, you reach over, keep your hand in this new position for the A, C, F sharp, A, and then bring your thumb back up and squash it together slightly artificially for the G, so you can start the whole thing again. And then you carry on. Okay, when you get to section C, which we'll look at in a minute, you're actually going to start on 3. Okay, so that's the only difference. It actually comes on the next line, but it does affect how you kind of plan what you're going to do. So Stretching out, back to your thumb. And there you go. Quite often when you're practicing a phrase like this, it's a good idea to play the next note or the first note of the next phrase, just to get the two to run together. So the left hand part here starts now on low G. You've been playing up here. You're going to reach down with your little finger all the way down to G, and you're going to go nice and strong. 1, 2, 3, rest, and then A, D. So it's the same rhythm, but you've got a note change. Rest, repeat, rest. Okay, so that's the left hand part. Together they sound like this. So the first two notes they play together nice and strong, and then the left hand's got an extra note that you play during the rest in the right hand. So it's 1, 2, and then the right hand carries on, and then together here. And again the third note in the left hand, the D, A, D, is a kind of solo. It plays that in the rest. So it's getting that third note nice and strongly in that rest in the right hand part. So from bar 5. Line. So again, it's really helpful here if you get used to using the correct fingers, because then your brain kind of learns that pattern and almost becomes kind of natural. Whereas if you're kind of switching around different fingers, you're going to just get confused on that line. So the third line is only 2 bars long, but they're quite quick lines. They've got semiquavers. As I say, the right hand you've actually started on 3, and that's because you're going to go down. So you've got quaver, semiquaver. So that's a nice little pattern, starting on 3. And then you've got this kind of finger switch, which is when you play the G twice, but you start with the middle finger, and then you use that as a way of switching to your thumb and moving your hand position nice and smoothly. You get those a lot in music, so it's quite useful to practice that. And you want that to sound as smooth as possible. And that then means you can do this. So you start on 3, switch, and then you've got the next phrase, same thing on the B, 3, switch, and then you finish nice and strongly with those semiquavers, and then you've got the minim D. So watch that all again, starting on 3, nice and quick, switch, switch, and then hold for 2 beats. Okay, so that's bar 9 and 10, or section C, with the right hand. The left hand part here, not so difficult. You've got your little finger on the G, and it's holding for a minim. 1, 2, nice and strong, 2, and then 1, climbing up higher. Okay, so together they sound like this. So the left hand is holding while the right hand is doing something quite fiddly, and then you land there together back where you started, and then you do the finger switch. So and then it climbs on that last phrase, so they both end up middle fingers, minims, nice and strong. Okay, so you might want to start that line a little bit quieter, so you can build up and even put in a small ritando or slowing down at the end to kind of build a little bit of drama. Let me play to you right from the beginning up to there. So it goes like this: middle finger, and then second finger on the G. That's my starting notes and starting fingers. Here we go. Moving down. And then strong. Bit quieter. Getting louder. Slowing down. And that's the kind of first half of the piece, although the second half might not take you as long as the first half. And that's partly because sections D and E are almost identical. It's like a spot the difference competition. The only difference is the last bar. In the right hand it goes G, A, B. In the left hand it goes G, D, G. And then whereas the second time round it switches to something different, which is a bit more final, because that's the end of the section. Right, so let's go from the D section. It starts with just the right hand by itself, but it's playing 2 notes at once, the D and the B together. Okay, so you hold those nice and strong, and then you've got this nice quaver pattern coming down. Another finger switch here, move your middle finger down to the B, and and then you've got to go over like this. So look how the fingering works here. So going to go over. So I go over my thumb. It's a lot of thumb, two, thumb, 2, 3. So you're doing a lot of this. Okay, just watch that again. Going over. And then the second line, exactly the same. Reset the hands for the minims. Same quavers coming down. Going over again. 1, 3, 1 to finish. So that's how the right hand goes for sections D and E. The left hand has a bit of a break for the first bar, so it's got a rest. And then you're going to start with your forefinger on D, these long minims, and then nice and strong crotchets. And then there's another break. Same pattern exactly. And then you go up to the G, but this time, instead of going G, D, G, you're going to go G, D, G. So you go down to the low G. So you've got to shift your hand. Okay, so together, here they go. So the left hand's going to have a bit of a break, but I'm going to get it set up anyway. It's got its forefinger ready. The minim chords in the right hand. Then together. Nice and strong. G, A, B, rest, reset. This is all exactly the same. G, and nice and strong. You actually got a min there at the end. 1, 2. So it feels much more like a final piece. So that's how sections D and E go. So let's put the whole thing together once more so you can hear it from beginning to end. So here we go. Get the fingers set in the right position to start with. Nice and strong at the opening. Nice and strong rhythm. So that was the level 3 version of Mozart's EINE KLEINE NACHTMUSIK. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it helpful. If you have, then please hit the subscribe button below, as there's new pieces for you to learn coming out all the time. And remember, the music for all of them is free to download from the website pianoplayerpro.com. If you've got any questions or requests for future pieces, then please do get in touch via the comments section. Have a great day then, and happy practicing.